Shalom, shalom, shalom. We the Hebrew Israelites out once again to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom, Babylon, aka America, aka Babylon, Egypt, Sodom, and so on and so forth. We are the desert trumpets, and hey, what does the scripture say? Measure thou the time diligently in itself. So, after measuring the time, we know that we are close to the last few prophecies to manifest themselves before the coming destruction and the return of our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai Hamashiach. So with that being said, as always, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah HaKodash, and double honors to our apostles, elders, bishops, leadership of Great Millstone, peace and salutations to the house of David, to the 144,000, to the men, women, and children scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, of the hopeful elect. To you, we say shalom.
Shalom.
If I may, I'd like to begin in Isaiah 3 and 1. We probably won't really have a long lesson today. We're just, in a couple of scriptures. The Lord is willing to be edifying.
Isaiah chapter 3, verse 1. For behold, the outer one, the Yahweh of hosts, doeth take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay and the staff, the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water.
And we know that in that time the Most High removed our power from us, our ability to defend, our ability to do things. And now in Babylon, we are repeating, because essentially the things that have happened aforetime are happening again. So now we're repeating that those moments when the Most High is removing that stay of water, that stay of bread, and that stay represents the support. So, Esau Edom is removing the tits. They're taking away those things that our people have used as a crutch. Many have used as a crutch to not lift themselves up, to not move forward. They've depended, and they've been made dependent. In many aspects, it's not really self-inflicted, but our people, once they were able to be put on these different crutches, they never desired to remove themselves. They just used it perpetually and continually, and they, generationally. Grandmama was on it, mama was on it, daughter was on it, her daughter's already prepared to be on it. They've never really tried to change. So now the Most High is forcing Babylon to remove these things, to take these things away from them. Your Section 8s, your EBTs, your SNAP benefits, your medical coverage. Because in conjunction with everything that's happening, these insurers are also going up on the price to take care of you. So all these people in America who basically, live off of the king's meat, who have nothing of sustenance in their diets, they're all of these things are being removed.
Yeah. Both physically and spiritually.
Come.
I can't forget that. Both spiritually and physically, because spiritually, this is the water and the bread. And you're not having the substance, the bread of life, which is Yahweh Shai. Yep. You're not doing it according to thus saith the Lord.
Yeah.
Right? You're doing it to thus saith your feelings, your emotion, or a man-made doctrine.
And essentially, the spiritual bread and the spiritual water is soon to be removed, because as we understand that the bread and the water that we've been given to consume for the last 250 plus years in Babylon has not been that true water, has not been that true bread. You know, so that water and that bread is actually available to us right now still. But, you know, as we understand, the Most High said there'll be a famine of the word. So Christianity isn't going to go away, you know. All of these other religions, these 35,000 varieties of Christianity aren't going to go away. But this true and living word is going to go away. This true and living water is going to be removed, you know. And these people are, when the times come, because, hey, what do we know? Christianity is not preparing you for the things to come. Christianity isn't telling you about the MOTB. Christianity isn't bringing into your understanding Jacob's trouble.
Yeah, the race wars, yeah.
And the things that'll compass about that. Mm-hmm. You know? Yeah, go ahead and grab that. That was really all I wanted out of Jeremiah was 3.
Okay, well, I got a precept. It says Revelation chapter 12.
Go ahead, bring that, and then the race wars and the things. Okay. That's what I want.
Okay, yeah. It says Revelation chapter 12, verse 14 says, to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness until her place where she is nourished for a time and a times and a half a time from the face of the serpent.
Right, and that wilderness has been Babylon the Great. So here's where we've received that, you know, that, hey, what does the scripture say? You know, we shall eat our bread defiled. You know, so here's where we've had that defiled bread. Here's where we've, you know, man, really been turned out. You know, the serpent nourished us and we were hidden in plain sight, but at the same time, the elites knew who we were. So, you know, they made sure that we had that defiled bread, both spiritually and physically. Right. You know, when you go and look at the French, like the bread they have over there in Europe, it'll last for a period of time. But American bread, man, it's full of all kind of chemicals and preservatives and all kind of things that they don't even allow over there in European countries. Mm-hmm. You know?
Right, yeah. It's a bunch of certain cereals and certain foods that they deem it illegal.
Right.
Right.
You know, they're not allowed to send it there.
They all come from American companies.
Yeah.
So which, you know, and that in itself probably hurts America, right? Because if you developed a good product, then that product will be bought throughout the whole world, which basically now you could pay the employees and they can work, and then you can have a society. But you know, of course, they don't want it that way. They want to basically poison you, and then you know, fire you now in this case, right? And then bring in AI, you know, to replace you. So these are the things that was the condition of the battle, so to speak, as of where we're at right now, right? So this is you know, like you said, the things that Christianity is not preparing people for, right? They're not telling you that, well, they can. They got the 50c3. They can't declare the truth, right? Completely, right? They have to do it in a roundabout way, or they have to allude. If they do tell you the truth, they're alluding to something, but not giving it to you straight. They're not telling you that it's Esau Edom. And Esau Edom is the self-proclaimed so-called white man, right? Which their favorite guy is Paul, but Paul alluded to the Edomites, and that these Edomites are the border of wickedness, man, right?
These 501c3 recipients, they can't really tell you Esau Edom and his true identity, because they realize that they still suck at the tit of Esau Edom, you know, and we've seen countless times when you speak against the devil cuts you off. all you have to do is look at Kanye, look at your boy Nick Cannon, look at countless others who have spoken against the beast, and the beast has brought them in and basically, financially lynched them, mentally lynched them, caused them to have a public apology and things of that nature. So we understand that the beast is still in full control, and Esau, Edom, at the head of that beast are the tiny hats, and they basically rule over all Edom and the world, and we see that made manifest through all aspects of this walk.
Mm-hmm.
Grab that.
As a matter of fact, they even
24:6
have
for
them
me,
where
please.
they have handlers, and the handlers, like Kanye, he was saying that they were trying to give him allegedly
Drugs, yeah.
some type of drug,
Yeah.
psychological thing, so he can look all crazy, so that way he's not there. Now, now he is crazy. Now he to the public, and then to shame him, as far as take him away from his daughter, take him away from different things, and showing that he's this crazy person, right? So it says, let me finish this. It says, it says, a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness unto her place where she was nourished a time. And I did it. Half a time from the serpent. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I finished it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Matthew 24. Pick up on those race wars, the things that are coming to this world, and they're in large parts it's already, because we understand that these things have really already begun. They just have yet to fully monasticize. That can be the word, the $5 word for today. Fully envelop all things. But these things are going to spread like a wave as they begin to take hold in these different states. And this EBT and removal, and these things are all meant to bring about these times. You know what I mean?
Yes, it says Matthew chapter 24, verse 7 says, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. I'll do the amplified version.
Mm-hmm.
And there will be famines and earthquakes in various places. But all these things are merely, what's it? How you say it?
Merely.
Merely, yeah, merely. I said merely. Merely the beginning of birth pains.
Yeah.
A birth pain.
Right, and that's what we're in, and anyone that's an adult male who's been around a woman, his woman giving birth, in the process of it, you understand that those birth pains begin, in a certain trimester, and then when they begin, they're pretty well, spread apart. They're not happening boom, 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 boom. But as she progresses towards that final period, those birth pains become frequent more and more, to the point where instead of a frequency, they become a constant, thing. As that momentum increases and that baby begins to move itself and position itself to come through the canal and out into the into the world. And this is the times
matrix,
that
right?
we're experiencing. Right, yeah. This is the times that we're experiencing. We're in those beginning trimesters where, hey, now is the time when these things are beginning to, turn around. because you know a lot of time the baby turns, moves into position. So you know,
Put the head, yeah, put the
right,
head where
put
it
the head in a position
where
to begin that path. And there's times when it's a breach where the doctor has to reach in there and rotate to move it around to get it in the proper position. So hey, we are truly in those times when the heel is about to be taken hold of, you know, and that birth is about to manifest itself. And so, you know, hey, like we said, you know, hey, these pains, these sorrows. Did you get through all of that? Let me know when you get to famine.
Or did.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Do that one more time.
It says, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and earthquakes in various places.
So, hey, these are some of the things. Now, see, when we go back, because like I said, these things are repeating themselves. Oh, that's a beat. Nice. So, if I go to 2 Kings 6 and starting at 26, and it says, and as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, help, my lord, O king. And he said, if Yahweh do not help thee, whence shall I help thee? Out of the barn floor or out of the wine press? And basically, you know, hey, he was walking along the wall, surveying his kingdom that was in a state of travail, and he realized, you know, he was like, man, you know, things was going bad. And the woman that spoke to him, she said, and the king said unto her, what aileth thee? And she answered, this woman said unto me, give thy son that we may eat him today. So cannibalism was happening, you know, and we know with these Americans, man, these Americans can't go 5-10 minutes without shoving something down their gullet. So when these stores close, when these tents are fully shut down, when there's no more food, you know, hey, when you robbed as many places as you can rob and you can't find anything else, what are you going to do? You're going to begin to eat each other. You know, the scriptures tells us that these women are going to eat their children. You know, these same children that they've claimed to love more than their husband, and they swoon over them to such a great degree.
The fathers,
right?
Too. The fathers too.
Yeah, it's going to be a mad fest of food.
You
know, it says, and we would eat my son tomorrow. So we boiled my son and did eat him. And I said unto her on the next day, give thy son that we may eat him. And she hath hid her son. You know? So, hey, the times that are coming, man, are going to be, you know, and the scriptures also tells us that there's a time of trouble coming such as never was since there was a nation. So if this was the state of Israel then, and the time coming is even greater in magnitude and greater in ferocity and greater in evil than that, you know, man, hey, you know, again, what manner of people ought ye to be? You holding something still?
Mm-hmm. Oh, but yeah, I gotta preach that real quick.
Yeah.
It says Deuteronomy 28:53 says, when your enemies are besieging your town, you will become so despaired for food that you will even eat the children that Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, have given you.
Hey, and we already, hey, Trump cutting off the tits. Trump implementing these what do you call it, the soldiers that is coming in, National Guard troops, you know, implementing the army. And America has already set up its palisades around these cities, which are these highways. These highways weren't really made for you to move freely. They were created to lock you in when the times come. You know, and they're going to implement that and use these. They're going to block these highways off. They're going to block these pathways of your escape off.
Yeah, you can see that in those movies. And anytime you see the movies,
without a doubt,
all every time in those what do they call apocalyptic movies?
Yeah,
you always see the thing with all the cars all over the freeway,
Right.
which they know that it's just it's set up to block you in.
Right. You know,
Right.
to remove any ability to exit the city you may think you have. You
Right?
know,
Because
and
if you're gonna leave the city, you got to leave it now.
yeah, yeah. You know, hey, and that's why we know that back then the Most High gave that when he said, when you see the desolation, the abomination of desolation.
Yeah.
Hey, don't take nothing out the house.
Don't go back.
Come down and go in the house. Move. You know,
Yeah.
and this is the times we're coming in, man. You know, but this time is going to be even more treacherous because we're not going to be able to leave. The way they have these systems set up with the Palantir. What did you say that meant? The definition?
No, that's the
one of
Hopseer.
them. Hopseer? Right.
Hopseer means the gospel.
Right. You know, and
Yeah,
their new gospel is
which Palantir
right.
comes from that because that was the gospel or Hopseer was the what's called the prototype or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it was what
yeah.
they built Palantir off of, right?
And
they designed it off of.
Right.
Yeah.
And what does the scripture say? He wants to be like the Most High.
Right.
What is one of the abilities of the Most High? His eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. The ability to see all things. And this is that goal. This is that level that this devil thinks that he can achieve. That ability to see all things. Right. That golden dome. Who he's convinced the masses, this is for your protection. This is to protect you. But nothing is going to protect you from the doom to come. The scripture says none shall break their ranks.
Okay.
When these missiles and these different weapons of mass destruction begin to be shot around the earth and come into the land of the thief, hey, there'll be no defense. There'll be no golden dome. There'll be no power to stop these things. You know?
Let me change it real quick. Because you said that was a king, right? So this says 54 through 55. It says even the most refined man of noble, right? Because you were saying what you call him was a king, right? And they were basically starving, so it's going into this thing too. Right here it says noble birth will become so desperate during the siege that he will eat some of his own children.
Yeah.
Because he has no other food.
And so, hey, you people that are, you know, hey, you ghetto rich, you people that don't have the ability to have a standing security force, and even them, when the times come, man, hey, all of these things are going to be, they're not going to do you any benefit. These people are going to either the people that you've taken on as your security are going to take you, or, you know, hey, just the regular people that are starving, they're going to overwhelm you. You know, you're not going to be safe in the times to come. You know, you people with bunkers, a lot of you ain't going to make it to your bunkers. A lot of you, you know, and the elites are going into their places of security now. They just had I was watching one of the news things. A lot of these, especially a lot of these people that are part of the presidential crew, hey, they're moving into administration, right? They're moving into military base homes. They're moving on to the military base, thinking this is going to be a thing of their protection, right?
It's a telltale sign to you.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, it ain't going to help you either because guess what? The Lord will put a spirit on some of those military men to snap.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be war with on the military base.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And things. It's going to be a time like none other, right?
When
not to mention the Lord said He's going to release a newly created beast, right? You're going to release beasts that never been seen before. So how do you get away from that? Just because you're on your military base? You know what I'm saying? You're going to find out that that Bigfoot was a real thing, and he's gonna come through the door,
you know,
right?
Hey,
Snatch you up and break you into pieces, man. And you see that when the dude snatches the the jerky thing from the Bigfoot. Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's, I mean,
Knock
they
your
coming
ass
in,
back. But
yeah, man.
Hey, and a lot
that's
of
gonna
these
be real
military
life.
bases are access points to these dumps. You know, so even though you might be on the military base, you might not have access to the dump. You know, that's deep underground bunkers. You know,
Or you may not make it.
so you know, and then those military bases are going to become overrun as well.
Cause they show you that on those movies too,
Right.
where it's like a time,
Yeah.
and they have to get there. And when the time is
When
time,
that door
closed,
closes,
that's it.
it's no
Whoever's on the
opening
other-
it, right.
Yeah, it's not open again. Who's ever
Yeah.
on that other side, that's your ass.
That's where you are. You are where you're at, and they're going to be overrun. Many of these places are going to be overrun. You know, so yeah. Hey, there's gonna, you know, hey, you semi-elites, you know, you low-level elites.
Yeah,
hey, you're going to
apparitions
go
are
through
gonna
the
visit
same things, man. You're not, you know, you might have something to last for a short period of time, but if you don't have that preparation of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai,
Which they don't.
and that covering cat that the Most High, only the Most High can bring you, you're not going to survive. You might do good for a moment, and you might be feeling like, you know, I got this for a moment, but as time goes on, eventually something is going to happen, you know, because these are the times that we're coming in. We're coming into perilous times, you know, as the brother in North Carolina, you know, evils and only evils, you know. We're not coming into good times. America will not be made great again. America will not come back out of this, you know. And you see a lot of people with their pontificating and their philosophy that, you know, America is going to fall off of its glorified position, but it'll continue to exist. No, this place is different from these other nations. When Babylon fell, it continued to exist. When Greece fell, when Spain and Europe and England, when those nations lost their supremacy, they continue to exist. Babylon is going to cease to exist.
Yeah.
It's not going to exist anymore after its demise.
They ain't gonna want that because when they fell off, they existed.
Right.
Even then,
Right.
The power moved over to who?
Right.
Jacob.
Yeah.
And they don't want that, right?
You know? Yeah.
So-
the powers just moved.
Right.
It was from France to England, from England to America. The source of the power just moved.
But even then, that's when the Byzantine Empire
Right.
came.
Yeah.
Came in.
Rome, right? From Rome to the Holy Roman Empire.
From the Western
right.
Empire falling to the Eastern Empire ruling,
And then
it
falling. Right.
continuing on.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you know, Esau came out of the caves later by 11th century. What's up? You got a question?
I was listening.
Okay, yeah. Esau came out of the Caucasus Mountains during like the 11th century, 12th century. By the 14th century, they got a lot of the strongholds. That's how you know through Spain. That's when that rebirth, that you know.
Spain, Portugal,
Right.
you know, these different plans. And so basically,
Rebirth
you know,
of the
all of
Edomites.
these kingdoms remain,
Rebirth of the
even
so-called white man.
though their dominance, their supremacy fell off, they remain. But when this kingdom goes down, Babylon is going to be destroyed utterly, never to be inhabited again except by desert creatures.
Right.
You know what I mean? And these other nations, the whole power structure that is of Babylon is going to be destroyed. Esau, Edom is going to go into captivity, never to rule again. You know, all of these nations are going to go into captivity. But Esau, Edom is going to have the most severe because, hey, as we always bring that scripture, he who has shown no mercy, man, hey, you're not going to get any mercy.
Okay. Yeah, precept real quick. It says Wisdom of Solomon chapter 17 verse 2 says, when the unrighteous men thought to oppress the holy nation, they being shut up in their houses and prisoners, right, which would be America. We're shut up here in America, right? And, you know, we're prisoners everywhere, but the main place, the bulk of the salvation is here, is in America, right? Of darkness.
Where the scriptures also said where she refused to open her prisons. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
You know?
And feathered them with bonds, right? Now bonds is what your birth certificate, your your driver license, right? Things like that. The stock market, right? We're bonded here. We're slaves, in which they're trying to push it further to make you a digital slave, give you the digital all, right? Complete slave, right? And it says, all the night layeth there, was it exile from the eternal providence, right? Oh yeah, being our land, right? It says, for while they supposed to lie hidden in their secret sins, they were scattered under a dark veil, right? Going into what? We lost our heritage.
Yeah.
You know, not the understanding, right? We didn't know that we were the Israelites, right? The so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians being what the Lord said, the Lord's hidden ones, right?
Yeah. And that dark veil of Christianity, you know, you were taught that, hey, sin, you know, the laws of the Most High were done away with. You know what I mean? You were taught confusion. You were taught ignorance and stupidity. You know, and that Christianity is a very dark veil, because the scriptures tells you that sin is transgression of the law, but Christianity tells you the law is done away with. You no longer have to keep the law. The Most High the Most High sent His Son, and His Son removed you from the law. You know, all of these things Christianity has brought to you, which did nothing but destroy you, did nothing for you, and did nothing to you but separate you even further from your power. This is what Christianity has done to you. Christianity has left you in a perpetual state of ignorance and stupidity, thinking you can do what you want, thinking you can be who you want to be, thinking that whatever you do is okay, when it's far from the truth, when it's the reason why we're in the condition and the things that are coming upon the earth are because you know, you people have been under this strong delusion for so long that nothing is going to remove you from it except fire. That's it. You know, hey, the scripture says, hey, why should you be punished anymore? Grab me Deuteronomy 32 and 15. You know, because our people have lost sight of their rock. Our people have removed, you know what I mean, their strength. You know what I mean? They removed themselves from their strength, and they've relied on the strength of Egypt. They live under this shadow of Egypt, thinking that this is the very system that brought about their downfall is the system that's going to bring them out of the condition that they're in. Even though more and more it puts them deeper into the condition and shows them more and more that they are not a desired people.
Yeah. It says, being horribly astonished and troubled with strange apparitions. See, and basically that's the Lord put that upon Israel. But the point is, what I'm trying to make is the Lord can send forth apparitions. So you think you're going to some type of bunker, and the Lord is gonna cause things to disturb you, man. Cause you to kill yourself or something like that. You know what I mean? Or unalive yourself, should I say? Right? I got one more real quick and then I'll get you. It says Wisdom of Solomon chapter 11 verse 17. It says, for thy almighty hand that made the world of matter without form wanted not means to send among them the multitude of bears or fierce lions. See, so even though you're going into these so-called bunkers and you think you're hiding yourself, the Lord can send forth these different bears, which the Lord did that before to little Israelites, man. Sent forth she-bears to kill little Israelites. So how much more you devils, man, you think you can escape, right? It says, or unknown wild beast, full of wrath, newly created, breathing out either fiery vapors or filthy stench or scents of scattered smoke and shooting horrible sparks out of their eyes, right? you're gonna have, hey, so you think you can escape, man? And the Lord has sent forth these newly created beasts that's gonna send forth laser beams out of their eyes, shoot forth a stinky stench that stinks, right? Send forth what it says, full of rage, right? Would you say that one you want? Was that one you wanted? Was that one you
Deuteronomy 32:15.
Okay. It says Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 15 says, but Jezreel waxed fat.
Jeshurun, which is just another way of saying Israel.
Right, son of the right. It means, yeah, son of the right. Yeah. It says, Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxed fat. Thou art grown thick. Thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook the power, the Most High Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. Wow.
Right. This is why, this is why we're in the condition that we're in. Because, hey, we felt like we were doing,
so good.
Right. We felt like we had conquered our enemies, that we had done the things that were best for us. We forgot that we had, we didn't even forget. We ignored, the power that walked before us, that walked, that flew above us, When we came out of the land of Israel, that power was in the chariot.
Right.
Hey, when we were in our land, that power was in the temple, but we begin to think that the battles that we won, it was done by our power, that we conquered these nations, that we were, the reason for our own success.
It was with the Ark of the Covenant,
Yeah,
with the Ark of the Covenant,
in the temple, right,
yeah.
And our people began to neglect and ignore the power that we serve, so we are the reason for our demise. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna grab that same one in the NLT. It says, but Israel soon became fat and unruly. The people grew heavy, plump, and stuffed. Then they abandoned the power who had made them. They made light of the rock of their salvation. And once again, our people have done that again. This is why they're so happy to take on Christianity, because Christianity tells them that you don't have to follow. What kind of religion? It has no laws, no guidelines, no definition, no direction. Your only direction is come in, pay the tithe, pay the building fund, pay another damn fund, sing, jump, dance, hoop, scoot, and boogie, shake your ass, get the spirit in you. What spirit that is, nobody knows. Speaking some damn demonic language, you know what I mean? Sing another song and then close the church. Go home more ignorant than when you walked in there. But everybody saw you in your Sunday best. It's nothing more than a glorified fashion show. That's your Christianity. That's your black Christian church. You don't learn shit. If you can quote John 3:16, you did good. Never mind John 3:14, 15, 17, John 17, and not. Never mind all of those. Jesus wept in John 3:16, and you good. Close the book. If you opened it, let's go home.
James, which is Yahweh Shai's brother,
Right.
said, be not hearers of the word, but doers
also.
Right.
And what is that word? That word is the law of the Heavenly Father. You know? It's not rocket science. The scriptures tells us that the law is not grievous. It's not a grievous thing not to eat abominations. It's not a grievous thing not to go after your neighbor's wife lustfully. It's not a grievous thing not to steal. Most people would tell you they'd give you the shirt off of their back. Now, not now, because the love of many has waxed cold. We're in those times.
Yeah, if they did it, they're expecting something after they did.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That was it.
You know? We're in those times now. And those times are only going to become more prolific. They're not going to turn back. America's not going to become a righteous place.
No.
That which is made crooked cannot be made straight. America was made crooked. It was made and created off of the blood of the indigenous people, off the blood of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. The rape, robbery, and slaughter of the land. This place is soaked in blood. The scripture says that a land cannot be cleansed of the blood except by the blood of them that shed it. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, shed blood indiscriminately. That's all he knows. He doesn't know anything else but how to shed blood. There's no creative side in him. If he's creating something, it's a pathogen or a poison or some kind of demonic ass thing in order to kill, so that he can overcome a people, so he can take somebody else's property. You know, when he came over to this land, what did he do with the indigenous people? He gave them smallpox blankets. So what looked like him being helpful was basically him figuring out a way to exterminate you, to take what is not his. That's all he knows.
Yeah, his mercies is tender.
Right.
Mercies, his mercies are cruel.
Right. He that is cruel to himself, to whom will he be good? Esau, Edom is cruel to his own people. He treats his own people like they not shit.
Yeah. Got precept.
White person will look down on another white person in a heartbeat. Won't do shit to help them. Yeah, they park right above it. Yeah, he did. Yeah. You know? Hey, but that's the nature of this beast. He's always been like that. It's in his system. It's in his blood. That's all he knows. They're not scared of you. You know? And that's all Esau Edom knows. And he's preparing, you know what I mean, a great trouble for Jacob again. You know what I mean? Because since the womb, you know, since the inception of Jacob and Esau, they've been at war with each other. You know? In the womb they were at war, and all through existence. For thousands of years they've been at war, the same war. Now Esau Edom knows that he's losing his kingdom, so he's accelerating this aggression. You know, the scripture says that the devil has come down with great wrath because he knoweth he hath but a short time. So this devil is coming down with great wrath.
You got a precept?
Huh? What do
You got a precept?
Are you still
No, I had a precept.
Go ahead. Go ahead, bring it up.
Yeah. It says Isaiah chapter 52, verse 2. Shake thyself from the dust, arise and sit down, O Jerusalem. Loose thyself from thy bonds off thy neck of thy neck, O captive daughter of Zion.
Right. Yeah. You know. And how do you do that? Through this truth, through this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, through coming out of this Babylonian system, out of this Talmudic mindset. You know what I mean? That's how you know, hey, coming back to who you are, letting go of all of these identities that these demons placed upon you.
Yeah, ideologies, yeah.
The ideologies, these so-called spiritualities. The damn, how can an immoral person teach you morals?
Mm-hmm.
It's not possible. You know? Hey, how can one whom the Lord hates teach you the love of the Lord? He's never experienced it. Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. But you got Esau teaching you the love of the Most High. And you can tell by what he teaches you that he has no concept on the love of the Most High. For this is love, that we keep his commandments. And this is where, you know, hey, I quoted you, and his commandments are not grievous. But the devil is who teaches you the love of the Most High.
Yeah.
And he tells you it's grievous. You're right. So he tells you that it's done away with, do as thou will. But what you're doing is condemning yourself.
Yeah, come.
You know?
It says, Isaiah chapter 52, verse 3, continuing on, for thus saith Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, ye have sold yourselves not for naught. Ye shall be redeemed without money.
Right. Yeah. Hey, our Redeemer liveth. You know what I mean?
But yeah, basically the point is, what you sold yourself for naught. Because what are you saying? Going into these things, they sold themselves into slavery. We put ourselves in these conditions. Basically, that's why I brought it out. Going back into that point what you were making earlier. That's why I pulled it out, because you said that point earlier about them. You know, about how we did this to ourselves.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, our transgressions caused us to have to, you know what I mean, interact with the second part of the prophecy. See, you know, like what we always say, the first part of Deuteronomy 28 is the blessings. But if you transgress, then you get the second half,
right?
Which is the curses. And our transgressions caused us to sell ourselves to the second part of that. Right. And the Most High used a nation, a fierce nation, who's, you know what I mean, a fierce countenance, whose tongue we didn't understand, you know what I mean, and then brought us to another land that we'd never known.
But now,
you know what I mean?
But now, like at the finished part, it says, but and ye shall be redeemed without money.
Right.
And now,
right.
Coming,
you know,
the awakening.
Right, because the end of that chapter says that no man shall redeem you, which is buy you back. You know, and this is a lot of these stupid ass naysayers. They, oh, see, you weren't sold. You know, you didn't. Yeah, we were sold, and no man would buy us. No man would redeem us. You know, they try to use that because they have this slick speech. You know what I mean? They try to manipulate what's being said. But and then that's why, hey, we're thankful that the Most High has sent us teachers who have taught us to look up the definition and the understanding of words pre this period.
Right.
This is why you have many, what do you call them?
Teachers.
No, not teachers. When they revise, revisions to these books. So you make it a dictionary or an encyclopedia made in 2024, 25 that has one understanding. But then you go back to 1999, there's another understanding. 1980, there's a different
60s.
Right. 60s, keep going back. Then you begin to get the understanding that the apostles, the prophets, the men of the Lord that were writing these things down, what they understood. But you read it now according to the revisions made from today, you have no true concept.
And then
this is why you walk around under a strong delusion.
Yeah, you touch base. You got to touch base with the Hebrew and the Greek. Right?
Con. You know? And then on top of it all, you have to have the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Which proves that our elders they have to be
without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Right.
You know, number one, they don't was it the Apostle Paul says I don't hesitate to give you all of
declare to you
right.
the full gospel.
Right. You know what I mean?
I do not shun to declare to you the gospel.
The water, con. You know, and this is what the apostles, the elders, the bishops, and the leadership of Great Millstone and men that came, you know, what they understood, and then through the power and spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, they were given further in knowledge, further understanding. Knowledge shall increase, you know? And at the same time that the knowledge of wickedness is increasing, the knowledge of these scriptures has been increased.
Right.
Through men that the Most High deemed diligent and worthy to receive that. And this is why you see all the rest of these, you know, bringing forth, you know, these damnable doctrines, man. These doctrines of fools. You know, this is why you see men in purple who battle against other people calling on, you know, when they marching, they're calling on cheesy rice. The boys in purple are calling on cheesy rice. There's no distinction between them.
But yet they're clashing.
Right. You know, they're clashing because they're 35,001 of the Christian denominations. That's all that purpose it is, man. You know, hey, the brother brought out there's 35,000 different Christian denominations. Well, now it's just basically 35,001.
Right.
You know, Christians in purple.
Newly created.
Right. You know.
With an Israelite twist.
Right. With an Israelite twist.
Yeah. That's why was it Drewski can mock you.
Right.
Because you can mock Christianity.
That's right.
Right.
It's actually funny as hell.
Yeah.
You know
but
I mean?
Christianity can get mocked.
Yeah.
You see, when it comes to the true men of the Lord, you can't mock the true men of the Lord, man.
That's right.
Right?
You know, hey, that's all he was doing out there. That's right. Like, you know, foolishness. You know, and he's just marking himself, but nevertheless, that thing, you know, if they were out there doing what they were supposed to do, teaching, you can't mock that. The scripture says, I will give you
a mouth that cannot be gainsaid.
Right, nor resist. So, you know, hey, they know better. Like vocab. Vocab don't bother Great Millstone anymore. Despite the fact, you know, they just called the police on him because he's a nuisance. He's nothing more than a gnat. You know what I mean? That's his whole value. The value him and a gnat are equivalent.
Yeah, come. Let me keep going. This is Isaiah chapter 52, verse 4. Thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, my people went down aforetime into Egypt and sojourned there and and Assyria oppressed them without cause. Right? When you go into that, America is also synonymous with Egypt, spiritually Egypt, but it's also spiritually Assyria, and they oppress us here, and they oppress us here without a cause, right? But besides, you know, them placing themselves in rulership, man, right, over you, because every nation has to have the Israelites in captivity in order for them to rule, but them coming up against us is without cause, man, right? Your daddy sold the birthright. That's not our problem. That Edom, the self-proclaimed so-called white man, sold his birthright. It's not our fault that we get the kingdom, right? So you want to hate us and oppress us without cause, man. Yeah, they want.
Aren't you reading something?
No, go ahead.
Grab me Jeremiah 30 and begin at verse 4.
You already got you. He's like, you want to go to?
I
I ain't say nothing. I
Oh, wait.
I've been
You know what I
looking
wanted to
at it.
get
I'm in the big claim. I'm not selfish though. I don't mind leaving something for the project.
Right, yeah. What'd you say?
Jeremiah 30, beginning at verse 4. Or if you want to go hard, it's up to you. But other than 4 through 6. Because we're coming in a time where the Most High is going to be feared. He's going to bring that level of fear back. You know what I mean? You're gonna. We often say you're gonna fear Him, either through honor, through respect, through reverence, or you're gonna fear Him through the terrible troubles that He's gonna bring upon you. But one way or another, you're gonna fear the Lord.
Right.
There's no getting around that.
Fans butts about that. Yeah.
Right. You're gonna fear one way or another.
Right.
And how you choose to fear is also based on what the Heavenly Father decides.
Right.
If you're one of His own, if you're a part of that elect, if you are, of that number, of that 1/3, then you're gonna learn to fear Him in reverence, in honor, in true love, which is following His word. How's it going? Fist bump for that. But outside of that, you know what I mean? If you part of that other equation, then you're not going to have that. You're going to have to fear Him through the level of destruction.
Mm-hmm.
Through again, what is? I'm going to get that too while you bring that out.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna start up at 3. It says Jeremiah chapter 30 verse 3. For lo, which means to look, the day cometh, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that I will bring against the captivity of my people Israel and Judah, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, I will cause them to return to the land that I gave their fathers, and they shall possess it.
Right. And this is the time, that 1/3, that remnant, and that innumerable multitude, that every tongue, every nation, language, tongue, which is basically, if you give back and get that understanding, our people are scattered into every nation that speak every language, and
there's a lot of our people that
every
look like
tongue,
other people.
right?
Yeah,
we look like
every
all
other
nations.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's what that is. But I'm going to grab this before you finish. This is Matthew 10:28, and it says, and fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear Him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. And we understand that hell is not a physical place, but a condition. It is a physical place because one man's heaven is another man's hell. Slavery, Jim Crow, redlining, KKK, all these put our people in a state of hell.
Drugs,
you know what I mean? Drugs, poverty, you know what I mean? Being crammed into these little small ass places, packed on top of each other, almost the same way as we were, you know what I mean?
The slave ships,
in the slave ships, so a man can't have any kind of privacy or any kind of, what's that? Any kind of, you know what I mean? You're laying with your woman, you can't have any kind of, your neighbors can hear everything that's going on. You don't have any space to move around. You know what I mean? We're still crammed in. All of the things that's done to us. While you take a trip through the country, you see these damn devils with great mass wealth and land, the ability for the dogs and the children to rip, roar, and roam.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That goes into that peace and safety.
Right.
Peace and safety, because when it comes to that thing, they say there's safety in numbers, right? And there's a lot of people, and then you can call the police or whatever, and then you'll get so-called get help. But when it comes to our neighborhoods, it takes 30 minutes for the cops to get there. You're around people, but it's crammed up, and being you're crammed in these places, people are vexed. So though there's supposed to be, there is safety in numbers, but there's also violence in numbers, because when you're crammed up together and we're both poor, we're both angry, we're both, you know what I mean?
Right.
Things are going to happen. So that's that peace and safety. Then what? sudden destruction actually
Right.
happens.
You know, and then
Right,
the devil
gangs.
creates the conditions
Right, yeah.
for you know what I mean, because normally in a natural situation, people that are in there like that would begin to rely on each other, would lean on each other, would try to help each other, and all right, you're gonna do some planting. There would be a community type, you know what I mean? And I don't like using that word, but basically in a natural environment,
Village, right? 'Cause it
yeah,
tells
a
you
village, yeah,
village,
you know what I mean?
'cause
You
that's
know,
what they used to
right,
tell you.
right.
It takes a village to raise a child. And
you
that's
know,
if you-
everybody would take part in that. When I was
Right.
growing up, you know, we knew our neighbors. You know, hey, when I was coming up, your neighbor had authority to whoop that ass if you got out of line. You know, but now you can live in an apartment complex and don't know the motherfucker that live right across the door who you may see when you leave
For 10 years.
but there's no interaction with them.
Yeah.
And keep it pushing. You know,
Or some days people don't say nothing. They don't
Right.
say nothing to you.
Yeah, you
They
know.
just gonna shut their door. Do this.
right? They see you coming, they close the door and use the peephole till you walk away. Then they'll come out and do what they, you know. That's the condition of Babylon.
Even since this CV19 with the DoorDash things now,
Mhm.
you should see
Right.
how weird people act with the
Right.
with the DoorDash. Yeah, just leave it right, and they'll
Yeah.
crack their door open and then reach
Yeah.
out and grab the food and come back in like that. People
You want to be an
people
asshole?
weird.
Just wait there hide behind the thing till they open the door. Give me my tip. You know,
Yeah.
Because I remember
People-
back when I used
people
to
are
do
weird.
Yeah, I used to do that Ubering thing. And you know, you knock on the door. Here you go. Here's your food. You know,
Well, people act
and
weird, though,
interact.
like,
but now, right?
But people, since the thing they got weirder. Like
You know, and
normally
that-
people will come out, open their door,
Right.
but these things people got weird. They'll barely crack it, reach down, grab it, pull it in.
You know?
You know what I mean? And they could be just getting out the shower or something, or I don't know. But some lot, but that can't be every day. Like when you go to different places, and this is happening.
And then
And
when
people
you-
are not want to be. They don't want to speak.
Right.
No, communicate.
Don't
with,
wanna
with
interact
people,
with you.
with people. Yes.
Because when you really think about it, prior to that thing, like why would you want me to put your food on the floor, on the ground, in the dirt? You know what I mean? Put your where the bugs, the ants, everything's crawling. You know, just put my food on the ground on the porch. Why would I wouldn't want that? You know what I mean? I want my food while it's hot. Why am I gonna tell you to just leave it right there? You know, and but hey, that's the condition that we're in by design. It's all been done by design.
Yeah, separating the
Right.
well, like I said, I
right.
don't want to say community, but
The
separating
village,
the
so, you
village,
know, and to make and to help increase that coldness people have towards each other.
right.
You know, everybody looks at everybody with a
Suspicious look, yeah,
right,
suspicious,
right,
yeah,
a
yeah,
state
yeah.
of mistrust.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And these people give you that reason. They'll give you the reason to not trust them, to look at them side-eyed. You know, because everybody is out for self. Everybody is trying to get an advantage on the next person because
Right.
of the condition.
Well, they building it up for that the social social
Collapse.
credit score, the
Oh, well,
social
yeah.
credit score.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I was looking up some of the things with the social credit score, and in China, if you snitch on someone, you can get 50. You can get like 50 points,
Oh yeah.
right? You get like 50% credit, whatever that means. But they got whatever. But you
It increases your ability to move freely.
to move
Right.
to move
you
up.
know? Right. Move up in the social credit score.
Yeah.
And move, and that move up allows you to move freely in and out of other, areas where, based on
You may not be. Yeah, you may without.
based on your score, you can't go. You know? You still read? Yeah. No. You still reading that Jeremiah 30 and 4?
Yeah.
I want the gray one.
Okay. Oh no, that's the
Moving
one I
in
was
your
doing.
speed now.
No,
Bigger. Nah, you caught the little one in the black. Anyway,
but yeah, go ahead.
keep going. You got.
Yeah, I got
you
it.
in that? Where you at? I know you started.
No,
a little higher,
all
didn't
right, no, yeah, that was cool. Yes, I'm
Go
going
read
right to
down
you
to
where you.
4?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got you.
you? Please.
It says Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 4, and these are the words that Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah.
And once again, hey, where these people, Christianity is teaching you it's the whole world. Negative, man. It's always and only been. The only thing they've done is they've changed the names of Judah and Israel. So it's no longer Gad and Ephraim and Manasseh. It's Mexican. It's Chilean. It's Brazilian. You know what I mean? It's black, Negro, colored. It's Jamaican. You know?
Right.
It's no longer Benjamin and Levi. It's what do they call those? Not the Jamaicans and the what's that island on the other side of Puerto Rico? What do they call?
Oh, the Virgin Islands?
No, like Puerto Rico, you got the two different.
Santo Domingo?
No. There's two tribes living on the one
Yeah,
island.
that's it. Simeon and Levi.
Simeon.
Levi,
Right.
Santo
Okay.
Domingo. Yeah,
Yeah.
Santo Domingo.
So, you know, and basically, you know, hey, they're hostile towards each other. But
Right.
either way, you know, all of that has been created by Esau Edom doing what he does. You know what I mean? You know? And our people have fallen into these traps.
Simeon, yes, Simeon. Dog, holy dog, or something like that. Simeon, Santo Domingo, right? Which that's what that means, holy dog. Simeon, Simeon, and Levite, the Levites. That's the one that says that you're you should dwell on the same land, but hate your brother.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I know there's yeah. Forgive me for not knowing it, or not remembering. But yeah, you still keep going.
Okay.
You're still in Jeremiah 30 and 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was just okay. I'll get there. Oh no, I'm already past 4. That was 4 already.
Oh,
For thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace.
And that's the times we're coming in, man. You know, we're really in those times. You know, and these things that are being done are basically what you would call catalysts. They're you know, hey, removing EBT. You know, hey, what's Jake get on and do? Oh, we gonna go out and stick up and rob and do the things necessary. You know what I mean? But you know, hey, that's just gonna bring about even further tribulations and trials for you. See, your kid's gonna be sitting at home. You're gonna be out robbing, and guess what? You're either gonna get picked up by the police. You know what I mean? Or you're gonna get laid out. Yeah. And now your children are gonna have, you know what I mean? There's no cover. Then Esau Edom gonna come in and take them.
But they finna come and take them in.
Right? Yeah. All these things, but you're gonna accelerate. You know what I mean? Your own demise. You know, it's not gonna benefit you to think, because instead of, you know, thinking to myself, man, I need to turn back and repent and call upon the true name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, or even in your stupid ass state saying, well, you know, I need to get back to the church. Nah, not our people. Right. Our people, your first thought is, I'm gonna go out and rob and pillage, and if y'all say something to me, I'm gonna get my man up.
Or even
since you
trust the so-called
in oppression.
The system, yeah, you trust in oppression.
You trust in
the
oppression.
system. Why didn't you say I'm finna, as soon as this thing, I'm finna write my congressperson.
Right.
But now I'm finna go steal.
Right.
If you trust it, then you trust the process. Yeah, you trust the process. You write your Congress. You tell them if you don't do it, we ain't voting you back in.
Right.
Supposedly, if you think voting works.
And that's why the scriptures calls our childish children. Because you're stupid. You're ignorant. You know, you've really become, you know, mentally just, you know, you're a mental dwarf. You're not even a midget, you're a mental dwarf.
Right.
You know? It's mind-boggling, man.
Let me do this real quick. I still got them. I'm gonna finish. I'm just doing these precepts real quick. It says Psalms 83 and 3 says, and they that take crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Yeah. And who's the hidden ones? The same one as thy people, which is the Israelites. And how are we hidden? We're hidden in name. We're hidden in identity. Now the Most High said he would remove his identity from us, because that name Yasharallah is Prince of the Power. So, hey, if you whoring after every other god and do it every abominable act that you can, you're not gonna You know, the Most High ain't gonna let you carry his name. So he removed his name from us. And he used these damn nations to do it.
Right.
You know? And that's why we're in the condition that we're in. That's why when we claim to be who we are, when that gift has been given back, 2/3 of our people reject it. You can't prove it. You don't know that. How you trying to take somebody else's identity? Because they are the ones that picked up what was put down.
Why haven't nobody had to tell them that they have to prove theirs?
Right.
You know, these are the chosen people of God who they just automatically get heaven, and nobody goes, hey, wait, let me check your credentials. Right? You're talking heaven, and then these are people, when you see the Israelites according to the scriptures, even when you go to the Quran, you're supposed to automatically bow down to these people. Right? Even the Quran tells you that you are the people that I chose above all the nations, which the scriptures tell you that. So that means you are automatically supposed to bow down to these people. But okay, I'll bow down to you. But let me check your credentials first. I'm not gonna just bow down to you.
Are you who you say you are?
Right.
You know? And the answer is no. You can't prove it either. But again, you didn't steal an identity. You basically picked up what had been put down. You know what I mean? It was removed from us. You didn't take it. You know? You didn't take shit.
Nah.
You know?
Right.
You picked up something that was meant to be dormant, but it was actually meant for you to pick it up and to do what you did. You know?
Yeah, you get what you were saying. This is Genesis chapter 49, verse 5. Simeon and Levi are brethren, instruments of cruelty are in their habitations. Which is that land, that island.
Yeah.
And it says, my soul cannot thou into their secret unto their assemblies, my honor be not thou united. So the Lord said they're not going to be united, for in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they dug down a wall. Right? So they, you know what I mean? Being that they're gonna be in that land together, but the Lord said that they're not gonna be in agreement. They're
right.
They're gonna not be united. Yeah, they're not gonna be united.
Because one half of that island is in good, you know what I mean? They're okay, but the other half is in bad condition, you know, and the other is not gonna do shit for each other, you know?
Right.
But all of that is, hey, you know, when the time is at hand, you know, and right now, hey, it's just the elect out of that, you know, the elect out of those nations, you know. But the Most High gonna bring Israel back together. That stick is gonna represent all of Israel, man.
Right,
you know.
It says Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 6. Going back to Jeremiah 30 and 6. Ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore doeth I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail,
and basically
and all faces turn into paleness.
Yeah, these are the times that we're coming upon. You know what I mean? Where your basic strong men aren't going to have an answer. Your tough men, your
smart, the intelligent. Yeah,
right. You know, all of these, you know, ain't gonna be no such thing as the alpha male. You know,
or alpha female. Don't forget about
that. Oh, right. You know, or your boss bitch. You know, alpha all female. Of that's gonna go the way of the dinosaur.
I know chicks lately been saying that I'm an alpha female.
Right. You know, and you're alpha by your damn self, because no real man wants a boss bitch. Why? What can you do with that? You can't ask. You can't tell her to do nothing. She's going to oppose you in every aspect and in every turn. There's always going to be a conflict of interest there. She's not going to get on your page. You're not going to be the leader, because she's always going to feel like she needs to dictate what's going on with her. But the time's coming, you know. And when all of these things are going to flip back right side up, you know, as these time of troubles begin, and you realize your boss bitch status is not
Null and void.
conducive to your good health, you know what I mean? That you being a boss bitch just gonna mean you getting backhanded and bent over something, you know, and constantly, you know, penetrated left, right, and sideways in your boss bitch mentality, you know. Right. Will get you slain. Because when a man is tired of hearing your mouth, he gonna put you down with extreme prejudice. A lot of y'all gonna learn the terms STFU. You're gonna get a clear understanding on that.
Yeah, matter of fact, my wife says she's been having dreams about like she said she was like in a situation, and she said something about like some chick hit her or something, or they hit somebody, and they went and called the police. And she said one of her dreams where the police came, but it took them forever. Then she said she had another dream that was similar, like it. She said they called the police, and it was basically like you just got the dial tone, right? Yeah. Nothing. There's no police. So we're coming into the time there ain't gonna be any police, man.
Yeah, you're getting the busy police signal. Right? You're getting the leave a message signal. Yeah, I thought about it. Got too many cats. You know what I mean? Hey, and as society begins to crumble, hey, all of this shit, this cosmopolitan, you know what I mean, which is basically made, you know what I mean, for a woman, you know, made so that right. You know, meant for you to be able to claim independence. Everything is set up to take care of you and put you in a position to declare your independence, but you act like you don't recognize that. You act like that you're not really independent. You know, you Section 8, you welfare, you recipients, you quick to claim independence and your strong ability. But now you're getting ready to get a glimpse that you've never been independent, you've never been strong, and that fear of where your next meal is coming from, and where your fucking protection is coming from, and where your covering, you know, that you're not outside in the elements, you know what I mean? Hey, that in itself is going to be a great fear unto you.
Yeah, hey, Jake is laughing. Matter of fact, I seen.
Without a doubt.
I seen a skit where a dude did a skit where he said that the prices on the, you know, that
price of pussy coming down.
Yeah, it's coming down to about 40, from $200 to $40.
You know.
Right? So and this is Jake making, and we even it ain't even that bad yet.
Right.
But they're already they're salivating over it right about now.
Hey.
Right? So
it's going to come down. Hey, when you understand these scriptures, it's going to come down even more than that.
Right.
Do me a favor real quick.
We finished it. I'm going to do this real quick.
I get it.
Okay, let me do this real quick. It says, 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 37, behold, which means feast your eyes, look, pay attention, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. See, pretty much what you're saying. It's just gonna come. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna come and not stop. It's gonna be one on top of another, a problem on top of a problem on top of a problem. Shit, it's hard people to solve regular little problems today, man. People get frustrated and kill each other over little stuff. Imagine when it's a problem and a calamity on top of a calamity and a calamity on top of a calamity, right? As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment.
Right, and that's basically what we were saying. At that point, like I said, within them 2 or 3 hours, that pain becomes perpetual. In other words, there's no subsiding of it. There's no momentary lapse where she has a moment of comfort or ease. You know, once that period begins, that pain is perpetual all the way to the end. And there'll be no epidural for America.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's nothing that's going to be, to soothe the pain. You know what I mean? America's going to experience all of that. Thus, with violence, shall that great city Babylon be thrown down. You know what I mean? But I just want to get this real quick because, hey, what did it say? You know, hey, the price of the BJJ is gonna become even less than what it is now. This is
Hold on, let me get this because you were talking about that thing because you said that earlier. I'm gonna just go off this what you said earlier because you're saying that that's gonna basically the birth pains it's gonna basically bring forth a nation, the birth of a nation, which is talking about the nation of Israel through the elect, right? So it's gonna bring forth that nation, and it says 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 8. I'll start at 8. He says, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, of him Jacob's hand held fast the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand of the question Ezra asks thus not. Right?
man, you know what
And
I
that's
mean?
that birth of a nation, right?
was
Going
both-
back into that time of the birth, bringing this nation down, right? Bringing in the Israelites. So all this is for a purpose, man. It's going to bring forth and birth a nation, man.
And it's not just a nation; it's an entire era, a time frame, a world. You know what I mean?
Right.
One world is going to go,
Cease to exist.
cease to exist, in a new world. You know, a new era. You know, a new time, a new age is going to manifest itself. An age of righteousness, man. An age when the people shall rejoice. It says when the wicked are in rulership, the people mourn. But when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. You know? Hey, it's going to be a time of rejoicing. It says when Esau goes down, roughly paraphrasing, you know, the people are going to sing. That's, you know what I mean? And that singing is just going to continue forward into that rejoicing, knowing that this wicked time is done away with. You know, when the nations are going to know, hey, you're going to serve your time period, but then you're going to go back into your space. You're going to go back to your land. But hey, these Edomites are an abominable branch. You don't have nowhere to be buried. You're not going to have a land to go back to. When those 1,000 years is up, it's going to be an extermination period. That which, you know, you fucking Hamans.
Right.
You know what I mean? That which you proposed to do is going to be done unto you.
Right, yeah.
Because this was your thought to exterminate, you know, the house of Israel.
They say race it, right?
Race it, even to the foundation thereof.
Right,
You know?
Right, come, let me get one more real quick. It says Isaiah chapter 66 verse 8, who have heard such things, such a thing, who have seen such things, shall the earth be made to bring forth in one day, or shall a nation be born at once? For as soon as Israel or Zion travailed, she brought forth her children. Right? Hey, we're gonna birth that nation, man.
Yeah.
Birth her children. That's that nation.
Yeah.
Right?
You know, hey, and then the kingdom, man. Hey, the apostle, you know, the elder apostle Tahar, he always, you know, it's gonna be a lot of baby making, a birth of a nation. It's gonna be, hey, one man shall become, a little one shall become 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hey, and this plays right part into it, because hey, we were saying earlier just a little bit, you know, about the you know, as the tits are removed, you know, how the price of the box is going down, you know, but the time is coming when it's going to be less than 40. You know what I mean? It says,
Right.
Isaiah 4:1, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread, so I ain't gonna have to buy you no fucking food. You know what I mean? And we will wear our own apparel. I ain't gonna be covering your, you know what I mean? What can you do? Can you take me here, buy me this, get my nails, you know? Hey, only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So yeah, it's gonna go down to, you know, you being able to pick and choose.
And yeah, and then like what you call him? What's his name? What's his name? Eddie Murphy. He said he went to the thing and got him a African,
Right.
African with a bone in the nose, everything. Everything was good until she could bring around Americans. Yo, don't you know what have you done for me lately, Eddie? Yeah, you know. And see, and it's going to be a time of ending that where you're corrupting the other women, because hey, you get to doing that, you're gonna be outside the camp.
Right.
And you better hope that you make it like Miriam. Miriam made it 7 days outside the camp without being eaten by wild beasts by herself. So let's see if that happened. You know what I mean? Brothers might be merciful enough like that, put you outside the camp for 7 days. If you make it, you good, you can come back. But I bet you come back humble. You're gonna come back
quiet.
You're gonna come back quiet.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know?
They're just like, hey, Miriam did. Yeah. Remember, she was speaking against Moses, man. She came back, she didn't say not a damn thing about Moses or his wife. Right?
Yeah. You know? No more gossip out of you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Says that was all I really wanted on that. You finished Jeremiah, right? All right, grab me Isaiah 5 and 13. And I'm gonna grab Jeremiah 2 and 21 to go in conjunction with it. That's Isaiah 5 and 13.
Isaiah chapter 5 verse 13. Therefore my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst.
Right. And what is that thirst, man? For that true and living water. You know what I mean? Which our people have not had in this time, in this land. You know, we've been subject to that bitter water. You know, that Christianity, that Islam, that Buddhism, Hare Krishna, you know, Shiva. Our people are into all types of madness, man. You know what I mean? You know?
All sorts of craziness.
Yeah. And this is to go along with that, Jeremiah 2 and verse 13, and it reads, "For my people have committed 2 evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewn them out cisterns, broken cisterns, that can hold no water." Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Shiva, all of these are broken cisterns that can hold no water. They were made
democracy,
right? Demon rule. These other religions were made for these other nations. They weren't made for you Israelites.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? The Most High said He gave to the nations their gods, which are no gods. But nevertheless, these were what was given to these other nations to worship. They weren't given our power. Our power didn't accept them. He created them.
Yeah,
but He didn't choose them.
It proves that He didn't accept them by giving them their gods. Right? Giving them their own gods, you know? Because the Lord said you can have no other God before me. Right. So you can't have those gods and then be for the Lord at the same time. It don't mix.
Right.
Don't go together.
But that was again. What was that?
Was it the Lord gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever shall believe.
Whosoever. There you go.
Whosoever shall believe.
You know?
Shall believe Him and have everlasting life. Right. This is the thing in John 3:16. That's where you think that is whosoever. Think God so loved the world. No, that world was talking about Israel. It's not talking about all those other nations. That proves it, because you said the Lord gave them their gods. That proves that He's not talking about those other nations.
Right. Never was. You know what I mean?
Never was. Never will be.
Yeah, right. Never was, never will be.
Well,
in Amos 3 and 2, it says, "You only have I known of all the families of the earth." So again, you know what I mean? Hey, but say, I don't know you, man. You know, I don't know you. You know, it says, therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. Now, how does the Most High punish his, but then all of a sudden now all the rest of y'all get love? And you commit worse and more atrocities than his own people, but now we all gonna have a place in his acceptance.
We're gonna hold hands.
You know what I mean? Right. Negative. Negative. It's not gonna happen.
You keep going on this? Keep going on that?
Where you still in
You're
Isaiah?
five, yeah.
Yeah. How much? Yeah.
Just one more.
Yeah, please.
It says Isaiah chapter 5, verse 14. Therefore, hell hath enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure, and their glory and their multitude and their pomp, and he that rejoiceth shall decease into it, man. Or descend into it. It's like descend into it,
man. And basically, look at our condition, man. You know, from slavery up until now, because what a lot of our people, you know, try to look past is that from the end of slavery till now, we've only gotten worse, man. We've descended into abominations and deeper into hell. You know, when we were in slavery, we were in a certain mindset. You know what I mean? But after that, look at the way after they destroyed us, because they took the chains off after the destruction was complete. Yeah, they working it. I keep working my way back to you. Yeah, now we have a overhead pigeon thing, and they, tried to give my boy the splash treatment last time. Oh, shit. He arrogant. He's like, shit, you ain't gonna do shit to me.
Right.
Or he's the look away while his boy still.
Yeah, pay attention here. Yeah, look over here.
But yeah, hey, these are the condition that our people are in, man. You know, look at the nature of our people. Our people treat each other with the utmost disdain. Our people eat the most abominable food. Our people have truly assimilated into the ways of the wicked. You know, we are in hell. We are in the utmost poverty. Hey, as the Elder Malcolm says, and it's a saying that's been since a long time. First, last hired, first fired. You know, shit. You know, the devil get behind you. You know, whether he kick his cherries on or not, you're always leery as to whether or not you're going to make it to your destination without him either harassing you or taking your life. You know, this is the mindset. You know, this devil pulls up on a child playing on the playground with a toy gun that can clearly be identified as a toy gun and blows his brains loose. You know what I mean? What kind of demon does that? You know, our people are being lynched. You know, we are in a hell. We're in a hellish condition, and we're in hell. And why? Because of our transgression. And the Most High has sent us this bread again. He sent us this water, this living water again, and 2/3 of our people reject it, or try to put a little bit of the Kool-Aid in it and mix it up and make it, compatible with this place. You know, they do everything to this pure water except drink it. You know, they have to dilute it. They have to mix it. You know what I mean? They do everything to save an oppressor who has done nothing but oppress them. You know, and our people would rather be consumed in hellfire. At least this is what they think. Than let go of the oppressor. You know. If the white man can't be saved, I don't want no parts of what you talking about. That's not my cheese. You okay?
Not my cheese.
You know what I mean? But when the time comes and your hand is joined in hand, you both is gonna go the same way of the dinosaur. You know, you're going to take a collective part in your oppressor's punishment. You know, in a time that should be for your salvation, it's going to be for your damnation, for your destruction. Because again, and I quote it, hey, why should you be punished anymore? You know, you will do nothing but revolt more and more. This is all you know. And the Most High, he's done with the punishment, man. It's time for the pure destruction. And this time, unlike the first time, that first death by water, this one is going to be by fire. When you come back, you're going to come back through a pure and righteous root. The root, the tree, and you as a branch will come back correct. And you're not going to go off anymore. You know what I mean? And hey, and that in and of itself, man, the Most High putting those laws, statutes, and commandments in our inward part, you know, creating that perfection, and we don't have to, no longer will anyone be able to influence us to do wicked. And now we will be able to do all the influencing, do right, or, you know what I mean, judgment is going to come upon you. Hey, what a beautiful world it will be. You holding something? If not, grab me Ecclesiastes 7.
I was trying to look for one.
What you looking for?
Trying to think of the one. Because you were speaking of that thing.
Now, you know the one where it says that basically they
it says the wicked. I think it's in Proverbs. I'm phrasing it wrong, but the wicked persuadeth his neighbor, or like basically that's basically what happened to Jake. Jake is you know, you basically they basically tricked you into being like them. You know what I mean? You're persuaded by the wicked. There's one
has
in
always been
Proverbs.
fascinated with these other nations and the things that they look like they're, you know, enjoying life more abundantly than Jake. You know what I mean? Because hey, time after time, miracle after miracle, and Jake does what? Jake goes back a whoring after these other nations, man. A whoring instead of these other nations following you. And it's crazy because all these nations want to be you. All these nations want to emulate and follow after what you're doing. And what do you want to do? You want to emulate and follow after the bullshit that they doing. You know what I mean?
That's what, but yeah.
So what was it again?
yeah, but it's kind of roughly like that. It's basically like how the it's not, I know it's not persuade, but it's a word, but it talks about how the wicked basically persuades like the righteous, right?
And, damn, it's gonna mess with me. But, yeah, because it says, it says the righteous are more righteous than their neighbor. Maybe that's the one. The righteous are more righteous than their neighbor. Where he maybe that's the one. Is that it? Not the wicked are more righteous than their neighbor, but their neighbor are more righteous. Something
I think
about.
I know.
I think it's in Proverbs. Yeah. What was the one you said you wanted? You can look for that for me, and then I'll get that other one for you.
Ecclesiastes 7:29.
Okay. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 29, it says, "Lo," which means to look, "this only have I found that the power, the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, have made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions, right? So that's going into what? You know, people are looking to create new ways to go about sinning, right? People are looking to you know, to just imagine wickedness, man.
Yeah.
Right? And even if they have to create some type of way to do it, they're willing to do that, but don't know the way of the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. Right? Because it's for you to be upright, especially for you Israelites, man. Right, man.
It says, and I got that too. It's Proverbs 12:26, and it reads, "The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor,
There you go. There you go.
but the way of the wicked seduces them." You know, and this is the condition that our people have dealt with. You know, they see the things that the wicked, they see Esau, Edom, and the way he's living. You know, because they completely negate the fact that in order for the so-called white man to have the things that he has, he raped, robbed, slaughtered, stole everything that he has, and now he looks like he's somebody.
And
you know what I mean?
not to mention the fear that he put in Jake made him fear to behave a certain way, to be like them, and now that fear is continuing on for so long that it's not even fear no more. It's just you're complying.
Yeah.
You're just willingly giving over.
You're assimilated. You're assimilated into a wicked
kingdom. Yeah.
Demonic, unrighteous people.
It was here
Not accepting your bullshit.
You know what I mean? And I'm going to grab this one as well. This is still in Jeremiah 2 and jump down to 21, and it says, "Yet I had planted thee a noble vine,
Right.
holy, a right seed. How art thou turned into a degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me?" So, you know, hey, this is the condition that our people have become. The degenerate, you know what I mean? Strange, you know, unrecognizable. You know, if the Most High, when he looks and sees, hey, this is Israel, Israel is unrecognizable to him. And I ain't talking about them imposters. He knows who they are. A bastard shall dwell in Ashdod. A godless, heathen, fatherless beast. You know, we know who you are, Amalek. The Most High will have war with you from generation to generation. That's why you've never existed in that land. From the time you went into that land, you've been at war. You know, hey, Israel it shall become a burden of stone. You know what I mean? You're not gonna live there and enjoy it. You got to bring water in to make it look like what people think is a prosperous and flourishing land.
Right.
You know, you gotta there's many things, you know, everybody, you know,
Important.
hey,
Everything's
imported. Right. You're allergic to this shit out there.
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
what's killing. Hey, the sun is killing them. They're getting all sorts of skin cancers.
Right.
Come on, but you're the people of the power, man.
Right.
Come on now.
And wait till the Most High really turn, because that land is sacred to him. If he did to us what he did to us for what we did in that land, what do you think your fate is? And he don't like you.
Hey, to even go further, he did it to the Canaanites first.
Right.
Because that's
right.
the whole reason why we were able to put them out.
Right. When their measure was filled up.
They were all filthy. They did all sorts of filthy things in that land. He had to put them out.
Right.
And that's why the Lord said for us, when we go in, do not after these manner of these nations, for if you do, I'm going to put you. That's what the Lord said.
Man.
If we do, he was going to put us out the land. And going back into your point, if he did that to us, who he loved,
right?
How much more?
Right.
You, who he hates.
You know.
It says the what it says, his how it go in Malachi? It says that the one where it says his he hates Then with a perpetual
perfect hatred?
with perpetual hatred, yeah. Them that have that the Lord hates, right? With a perfect or perpetual hatred. Yeah. Is it Malachi 4? I think it's 4 and 4. Well, 1 and 4. 1 and 4. It's 1 and 4. It's like that.
No.
Yeah. There it is. Right there. Or wicked indignation forever. Yeah, that's what it is. He will have indignation with you forever. So his righteous anger would be with you forever.
Yeah. Says,
Okay.
Yeah, matter of fact, I'll get it real quick. Malachi 1 and start at 3. Start at 1. It says, the burden of the word of Yahweh to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith Yahweh, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith Yahweh? Yet I loved Jacob. And I hated Esau. The very person that you people get to teach you the love of the Lord is the one the Lord hates.
Mm-hmm.
Esau, Edom, is hated by the Most High.
Right.
And you Edomites, you so-called self-proclaimed white people, are Esau.
Yeah.
You are the Edomites. The Most High hates you. And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness.
And give a disclaimer, not everybody who look white is white.
Right,
But
right.
the Edomites are Edomite. Most Edomites are self-proclaimed white people.
Right, yeah.
Right.
If your bloodline goes back to Esau, then you are an Edomite.
Right? Rather if you are a chocolate-covered Edomite.
Yeah.
So it don't
You know?
matter. You could be one look like Jake, look like Ham. You can be like Ishmael, but if your bloodline goes back to Esau, you're an Edomite.
Hey, you
it's
Americans.
It's not really about skin color. It's about the seed line, the spirit.
You Americans are the only people that are related to Crayola. The rest of the world ain't related to Crayola. The rest of the world describes itself by its nationality. Egyptian, Ethiopian, Sudanese. You know what I mean?
There's no such.
All these other nations.
There ain't no such thing as Egyptians. They're supposed to be Mizraim.
Mizraim, right.
Which those people there are not the people of Mizraim that's in that land.
But nevertheless, what I'm saying is that nobody identifies themselves as a crayon except Americans.
But yeah, but
you know what I mean?
But they do know that they're Israelites.
You're the only people. And then you use two spectrums that aren't even a damn color. White is not a color, and black is not a color. They're spectrums. They're what's used to create a color.
Right.
You know? But this is the ignorance of the so-called smartest man on the planet. BS. You know? It says, wherein Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath righteous anger, indignation forever.
Right.
You know, never gonna cease, never gonna stop. He doesn't change. It says, I am the Lord, I change not. So, hey, he's never gonna lose that righteous anger, that indignation towards you people. And all you do is perpetually show why it's thus. You prove to the Most High, moment by moment, why he has that indignation towards you. You know, the question should be, why would he not? Look at what you do. You know, that's why the scripture says he's coming back to hurt him who hurt the earth. You know what I mean? To put you down. You know, put you out of your misery and put the earth out of your misery. Because you put the earth in a terrible state. Look at that you've done in less than 500 years. You took a landmass that was pristine and poisoned the air, contaminated the water, violated the earth, destroyed the people,
Right. Everything.
There's nothing good about you.
Okay. Let me go back to. Go back to that Jeremiah 2:21. I'm gonna read it in the Amplified version. You want to what you were saying? To back off what you were saying.
Come,
It says,
come.
"Yet I had planted you, O house of Israel, as a choice vine, a completely faithful seed." That's what we're meant to be, a completely faithful seed, right? How then have you turned against me into degenerate shoot?
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
You know,
Your
hey, what
shoot's
the
like
Most High planted perfect. You know what I mean?
Right?
You become unrecognizable.
Come, watch this. What I'm gonna say. A shoot of a foreign and wild vine, alien to me.
Yeah, right. You know what I mean? A wild vine. You know, and where else do we recognize that? Hey, a wild olive tree. You know,
Right.
this is the. You know, you still that vine, but you got the thorns, the thistles.
Hey.
You got all kind of you're growing all wild and crazy along the
Hey.
ground. You're not growing. You know, you put those things there for the vines to attach to, and the grape. You just all over the place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hey, that's what even Jake
Yeah.
say when they tripping out, they be like, "Hey man, you wilding?
Yeah.
You tripping?
Wow.
Like, you
know?
wilding? What you wilding for? Like,
Right.
what's going on? You wilding.
Uncontrollable.
Yeah.
You know, that's why you got the YNs now. Wild bulls in the net. You know, just destructive little monsters with no sense of direction, no sense of control. A whole bunch of little baby kids, little mama's kids. You know, you don't want to be men. You want to be little women. You know, emotional little tyrants. Men trapped in little girls' or little girls trapped in men's bodies. You know, you just overly emotional, can't be told nothing, but full on destruction mode, or like you a demon mode. But you getting ready to be introduced to the demons. You know what I mean? And when the demons meet you imitations are not gonna bode well.
Says Isaiah chapter 51 verse 20, "Thy sons have fainted, they lie at the head of all the streets, as a wild bull in a net. They are full of the fury of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, the rebuke of thy power." Right?
Yeah. You know what I mean? The Most High has put a adverse spirit on these, these YNs. You know, you came up outside of any type of understanding. You know, a lot of you, your parents came up in these damn churches who taught you nothing, who gave you no discipline.
There you go. That's
who
right.
gave you no order. Told you basically, do as thou will. You're free to do whatever you want, and all you need to do is call on the cheesiest, and you're going to be good.
Right, because Eve is confederate with Esau.
Right.
And Esau taught her that, do what you will.
Right.
So then they pretty much did that for the kids, because mama go to the club and leave the kids alone at the house.
Yeah.
So she can go clubbing. So guess what, the kids is doing all sorts of manner of things.
Right.
They're in there trying to be grown. They're in there cursing. They find some. We did that when we were kids. My mom go to the club, leave us there. We look, we find some alcohol. We gonna drink it. We find some cigarettes. We smoking it.
Hey,
everybody in there.
Let's get into the nitty gritty of it.
Yeah,
when mama come home from the club, what's she doing? She bringing some strange dude with her.
Yeah.
And next week, she's bringing another strange dude. Or she might date this strange dude for a couple months. Then next thing you know, they in an argument. Mama back in the club, and what's she bringing home? You know, hey, they're seeing that mindset of this is what I should be doing. You know, because mama on Section 8, so she don't need no man. Mama collecting welfare. Mama getting the money. Mama getting the support, the child support. Mama getting all of these things. Sucking from the tip.
What they say now, living my best life.
Right.
Mama living her best life.
And what is mama? She's a strong, independent black woman. You know what I mean? 3-4 negatives.
Now she grandma at,
you know,
at 20
29, 32 years old. She's a grandma.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And what's she doing? She's preparing that one to what? Get her Section 8. Get her on welfare. Get her in a support system with Esau Edom. And what? Destroy the family structure. You so-called black women, hey, there's a reason why the scripture says, then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and then shall she be trodden down like the mire of the street. Because your time is coming, man, when justice is going to be enacted. And you're going to have to stand and deal with that. You know what I mean? And there'll be no parlay made for you. There'll be no, you know what I mean? Hey, you know how Captain Saber, no, don't let her do. No, you're going to get put to death when you step in to take her judgment. You know?
Yeah, y'all both might get killed at that point.
Because that's your judgment to step in there so you can get judged right along with her.
Right.
You know, because what do we know about Captain Saberho? Captain Saberho is just there because he think he can step in and get a little trim. You know what I mean? Get a little box.
Well,
once he saves this hoe, now he
can
get a little. Nah, that's what you after? You after another man's possession? Okay. Judgment for you and her, simultaneous. It's going to be, man, we're coming in to bold and beautiful times, man.
Yeah, right, because, Yahweh Shai said the thought, if you think you
Right.
already committed adultery,
Right.
and the wages for the sin of adultery is death.
You know, and
So
we
then-
know
and your-
what
and your
Captain
thought-
Saberho's mindset is.
Yeah,
We already, you know what I mean? It's not a new thing.
Yeah, your thought
You
is
step in to
boom.
say the
Yeah.
hoe, and
Yeah.
what are you thinking? I'm gonna get me some ass from this. You know, you basically predator on another man's motherfucking property.
Right.
You know, but it's gonna cost you a judgment, man.
Yes.
And what is that? That's because our leadership, man. Our leadership has always been, you know, in a dismal condition. Go ahead, bring out what you want, and then go back to Ecclesiastes.
Going into what
10.
you said, yeah. It says Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 55, so that he will not give any of them of his flesh, of his children, whom he shall eat, because he have nothing left, he have in the siege and in the straitness wherewith thy enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates. Right, dealing with your leadership, right? Your you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Going into what you were saying, that's your leadership. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You
It
know.
says,
Hey, and that was what you said earlier too. Hey, you women gonna be eating the kids, and you men gonna be as well, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're gonna be sharing that delicacy together. You know what I mean?
Right.
Little Timmy's arm.
Or fighting over
You know what I
it,
mean?
you know, in that
Little
time.
Keyshawn's leg. You know?
Yeah. Hey, well, right here, let's keep going. It says
You get the liver with a little Chianti in it.
yeah,
You know what I mean? You're gonna be a bunch of damn Hannibal Lecters.
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah, they're gonna be taking the what's what's they called?
Chianti.
What they shit. You know what I'm talking about? When you go to the restaurant and they have the
Filet mignon.
the little package, the little package, like the ketchup packages and all of.
All right.
Yeah, the condominiums. That's what I
The
meant.
condiments.
Condiments. The condiments.
Yeah.
They're using the condiments.
Little
you know, 'cause
ketchup
they,
on Keyshawn.
Yeah. Put a little ketchup, little ketchup,
Little
hot
hollandaise sauce mixed with a little,
So
you know what I mean,
using,
seasoning.
Using the
you know,
condiments
a
to
little-
season it.
little-
Because with all hell breaking, there ain't gonna be much. Dude, that's the only way to season it. You probably had to take them condiments, because you know,
Right.
and squeeze some of the
Hey,
condiments to make seasoning.
what did that say earlier that we read? Hey, we boiled my son.
Right, yeah. Yeah, they sod it.
they crab boiled it. Yeah.
What is it? Sodded?
Yeah.
Soddage? How you say it? But-
yeah, I can't. Yeah, I know what you're trying to say, but I
Yeah.
can't think of it.
Yeah, but it says, this is 56. It says Deuteronomy 28 and 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her feet upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil towards her husband and of her bosom, and towards her son and towards her daughter.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, and we're seeing that now. I mean, even in this condition right now, before we really get into things, hey, these women, hey, it's evil to raise your children in the mindset that these women have raised them in. That's pure evil, man. You know, it's evil to raise them in this Christian mindset. This Christian mindset has led to the things that our people are dealing with, man. Because Christianity has not taught us the ways of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's and the subtlety used
And the thing
through
about
Christianity.
is these the curses. And the thing about the curses is they come back around. There's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah.
So it's all going to come back around. It came back in the time of the Babylonians, and then it came time of the Neo-Persian Empire, and then it came, and then one of the worst ones was during 70 AD. But then this is going to be 10 times worse than the 70 AD.
Oh, yeah.
So then it's showing you, because that's what the Lord said. This will be upon you for what? A witness.
Sign and a
witness.
right?
Right, and that's what
a perpetual, man. And
it's going to keep coming by for a
on,
witness, a sign and a witness.
To the return of our
Yeah.
Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai HaMashiach.
Yep.
These things will continue. They'll all, and although we're seeing now, as we've measured the times, and we know we're in these last times, and we're seeing these curses now begin to fall upon our oppressors,
But
we
that don't mean
still
you ain't out of it.
are underneath these
Yeah.
curses until salvation takes place. And this is why, hey, being under this curse means the 2/3
Well, that's what he said in
still
Jeremiah.
have to deal with these things. And we still deal with the curses.
That's what he said
You
in
know?
Jeremiah. He said, my anger is stretched out still.
Right.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. His anger's still there.
Man,
He says, let me keep going. It's 57. It says, Deuteronomy 28, 57. And towards her young ones that come out from between her feet, and towards the children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them.
Again, there it is again. The man is going to be eating it, and the woman. And
Right.
these adult kids,
They might eat their parents. Yeah, they might eat their
don't
parents.
be big enough
Depending
and
on
young
which
enough
parent
to
come
defend
first.
yourself.
Yeah,
Right,
if the
right.
parent can defend themselves,
You know what I mean?
then the parent gonna eat their ass. But, but that's gonna be a toss up though.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Your leg
Who can get to
tonight.
the trigger faster?
Right, right.
Yeah.
you know?
Kill each other faster.
Store you in the fridge, man, the deep freezer.
Or manipulate each other. Hey, come on. Look, do you see something right? You look right there. Bow in the back of the head. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah. They might have to do that. Yeah.
Hey.
You know? It says, for she shall eat them for want of all things, secretly in the siege. And that's what Esau's preparing. Trump is preparing to come down with in a siege against us.
Yeah.
Right?
He's already laying the foundation
Right.
and the groundwork.
And
you don't think these EBTs and
Right.
this government and you people are naive enough to think that the Democratic Party is all about you. Hey, they all are playing a part in this thing in order to bring about this new world order, man. This new system of
Novus Ordo
currency.
Seclorum, yeah.
Novus Ordo Seclorum. Con. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? They're all working. Hey, they, from the apostles on down, they've continued to these wings on this hateful bird flap to go in the same direction. They're not flapping adverse to each other. You know what I mean? This bird is flying in the direction that has been given to it to fly, and it ain't deviating.
Yeah, that's all the plan for the Supreme Court to pass and say that they must pay full payment towards the EPT, and then Trump goes, nope, we ain't doing it, and then they're not doing it, showing you that he's took the place of being the king.
Yeah.
That's the reason why he has
Oh,
to
yeah.
be the king of Babylon.
Yeah.
He is the king of Babylon, man.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? He's not taking authority. He's not following the ways of the law of the land. He's doing his own thing.
And
he's the king.
been defiant to orders, and nobody has done any. There's been no ramifications for his defiance.
So
He defies these different agencies left and right that are set up so that this place could claim to have checks and balances. And now he's showing them there
There
are
are
no
no
checks and balances. You know what I mean? You can't do shit to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what you were just talking about, the EBT. It says in the siege and straightness. That's talking about not having the EBT, not having food, not having water. That's in the straightness, right? The difficultiness. That's what's going to happen. A lot of difficultness. Wherewith thy enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates, right? And all your leaders, your leadership, they're going to distress that. And that's what Trump is doing. He's got everybody where they're afraid to say anything because he got them either in a blackmail thing on the I don't know if it's on the Epstein thing, or he got them where he said that he's gonna arrest them. He's gonna arrest your senator, your mayor, your congressman. Anybody come up against him, you're getting arrested. So they're gonna, hey, they've been living a cushy life. They're not gonna say, no, I'm gonna fight for my people. No, they're gonna be quiet. They're gonna be quiet, so that way they can have some sense of freedom, some sense of what do they call it, the new normal, right?
They want to be able to move into the new society, and
Right.
the elites have told them all, whether Republican or Democrat,
Whether they want to
You know
or
what I
not,
mean?
they're gonna have
This is
to.
a minstrel show.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And everybody is playing their part. This
Right.
is the Most High's movie. And he's determined that this is the time. We are now in those days when this place is set for
destruction.
its destruction.
Right.
But hey, the counsel of the Lord is going to hold. So what are we going to have? We're going to have this MOTB get implemented. We're going to have the famine, the race wars. We're going to have all of these things. Nothing that the Most High said is going to go back to him void. Everything that he spake, all of his words that he had put down through the mouth of his prophets and his men and the seers is going to be made manifest, including and up into the return of Yahweh Shai. You know what I mean? Hey, grab that. Let's get this. We're gonna run through a couple real quick, and then we're gonna wrap it. You know what I mean? Because right now we're you know the wicked leadership. You know, grab that Ecclesiastes 10 and 16.
okay.
And when you get, I'm gonna grab Isaiah 3 and 12. You know,
Yeah. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 16. And when the cherubim went and the wheels went by them.
I think I want the. What do you got? Ecclesiastes.
Oh no, sorry. I'm on the wrong one.
Just a
Sorry.
little bit. Just a little bit.
10 and what? 16?
10 and 16.
It's like, yeah. It says Ecclesiastes chapter, I went to Ezekiel. It says Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 16. Woe unto thee, O land, when the king, whoa, nice, right, is a child, right? Yeah. That's it. That's his dude right here. That's Trump.
Yeah.
All day he's a child.
80-something-year-old child. You know what I
Right.
mean? Immature. You know, and that child is a mindset. You know what I mean? Because you can clearly see he's an adult, but his mindset is that of a child. He's immature. He's self-willed. He's loud spoken.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's
Say whatever's on his
Right,
mind.
right,
Yeah,
right,
you
right.
You're not supposed to do that, especially
right.
in leadership. You don't
Right.
just say whatever comes to your top of your head.
He has no temperance. Yeah, he has no filter. In other words,
Right.
if it comes
Child.
into his mind, it comes out of his mouth.
Right.
You know what I mean? If he's planning on attacking a nation, he has no. Oh, and our subs are right off the coast of their land right now. Really? Why would you say that? Now they know to submerge all of their defenses in these areas. You know what I mean? Nothing. This man has no stopper. You know what I mean? He can't STFU.
They call it back in the day. They say diarrhea of the mouth.
Right.
Yeah,
That's this MAGA leader. You know what I mean? You know, and essentially, you know, in his mind, he's a child, and the people that put him in authority are also in a childlike mindset.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because why would you seek your own demise just because you want to see someone else fail? You hate so-called people of color to such a degree that you would, as they say, you know, like a woman, they say she'll cut off her own nose to spite her face. Well, Americans will basically Edomites, will cut off their own supply to show that you can't have none. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, in order to keep you from getting it, they'll cut themselves and put themselves in a bad condition.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
Foolish. It said, let me keep going, because that's pretty much like what this said. It said, "Thy princes eat in the morning," right? Whatever he doing, they with it, basically.
Right.
Like you're saying, they eat it. He's
know?
a child, and whatever he do, they eat it. They eat it in the morning.
Yeah. And I got And this I want to. This is Isaiah 3:12, and it says, "As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them." It says, "O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths." And this is, man, hey, the leadership both of this nation and our personal, you know, the so-called leadership of Black America, what do? You know what I mean? They tell you to go along with this system. They tell you to do the things that this system is requiring of you. You know, like when these MOTB becomes made mandatory or even strongly suggested, what are these leaders going to do of Jacob? They're going to push the people towards it. You know, and we know that again, the chaos, the orchestrated chaos, removing the tits, all of that set up. Okay, you struggling because you don't have SNAP or EBT? Well, look, we're gonna put this on a digital wallet. All you need to do is get this little thing put in you, and now there's your EBT. There's your what do they call that? UBIs, Universal Basic Income. You know what I mean? All of these things are going to be put into a system that's a digital system, and then basically it's barely going to be a coercion. You know, the coercion is going to be, you want to eat, you want to be back part of society, you want to do the things that you see everybody else do. You know what I mean? You want to move through society freely. You know, that's what's coming. You know, that's the things that are going to be made manifest.
Oh yeah, that's kind of like what you call them in training day. He said, "What you want to go to jail? You want to go home?"
Right.
That's what they're going to say.
The easy way or the hard way?
What you want to do? You want to eat or do you want to starve? What you want to do?
And despite all of these people's claims about what they are and ain't going to do, unless you're covered by Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, you are going to do what's necessary to eat. You ain't built like that.
It's a what do they call it? Fight or flight.
Right.
You're gonna was it self-preservation, right?
Self-preservation.
That's what's gonna happen.
You know?
People are gonna run to get the chip.
You know?
Which the when they do the digital ID, it's not the mark of the beast.
No.
So don't get it twisted. Like people thought the JAB was the mark of the beast. It's not.
If your mindset is to steal first, you're gonna get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because you will go with you will comply or die.
You're gonna comply.
Comply or die. Let me get this real quick. This is
Did you finish that you had?
Yeah. That was just that piece when he was a child.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Yeah.
It was just small. It says Job chapter 30 verse 1. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision. Right. That's what it is.
And that's Esau, Edom, man. You know. They have us in derision. You know, they are in the driver's seat, so to speak, right now. You know what I mean? And anything that happens, they dictate. You know what I mean? And basically, they're the ones who set up you know, the leaders
Policies, yeah.
over Israel. That's why we have athletes and singers and things of that as leadership. You know what I mean? We don't have men of wisdom and understanding. We have, you know, comedians and
yes men,
and artists.
Basically, they're
you
all
know?
yes men.
Right.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
men that know to comply with this system. So,
because that's what Trump has now. He had a bunch of yes men and the people who go along, but that's not healthy. You're supposed to have checks and balance. You're supposed to have someone there, even as a leader, to tell you no, so that's not the right thing to do, or this is not the thing. So you have checks and balances. I mean, I guess I can be.
Yeah,
we're gonna finish it.
Yeah, finish that, and then grab Zechariah 11 and 5, and then
Right.
we'll close out on that.
Whose fault they had? Yeah, but they which are younger than I have me in derision, whose father I would not have. I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flocks.
And why? Because Esau is known for doing abominable things. You know what I mean? There's certain places where there's a little saying that says the men are men and the sheep run. Because Esau will do nasty shit with your animals. You know what I mean? This is Zechariah 11, I think, and 5, I think I said.
Okay.
Yeah, 11 and 5, and I'm going to grab this Isaiah 1 and verse. This is Isaiah 1 and 23, and it reads, "The princes are rebellious and companions of thieves. Everyone loveth gifts and followeth after rewards. They judge not the fatherless, neither doeth the cause of the widow come unto them." You know, and that's our people, man. Once they make it, they could give a good goddamn about the people that are underneath them. That's why you don't see any of the sports athletes reaching back into the community to do anything.
Well, they force you
know?
to, though, too. The
Right.
The elites, yeah, they
But
tell them.
even after they retire, you know what I mean?
Well, they
still don't do shit.
Well, they really don't have as much money then. Once you retire, you just don't get your retirement checks, and you ain't getting all these extra endorsements, and then you ain't willing to risk,
but yeah,
going back poor. But I mean, then again, that's what Yahushua did.
Yeah.
That's what Moses did. He became poor that we may become rich, that we may be that we may inherit the kingdom, man.
But they have no empathy or sympathy or any kind of
Right.
They don't. Hey, I made it. You figure out how to get out yourself. And that's their mentality.
Right. Come. What was that?
Zechariah 11 and
5. Yeah, I got it. Says Zechariah chapter 11 verse 5, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, "Blessed be Yahweh." Well, they wouldn't say Yahweh, but they would, "Blessed be the Lord or God," or whatever, Jehovah, whatever they want to go. Or what's the Barry Manilow, the one that their God. Look like Barry Manilow.
The apostle always brings him out, but I can't think of his name.
Damn, what's the? Damn, I almost had it too. Yeah, the Edomite God, basically. Can't remember the name right now. Quasi. Quaz.
Was it?
Quaz. Yeah, Quaz. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Quaz. Right? Whatever you would say, For I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not, right? Because like you were saying, the headship, the people who got a little money, the people who's in these prominent positions, starting with Dr. Martin Luther King, all the way on down to your average everyday pastor now who got the 50c3. They're there to get the poor man's money, man. And so they can live wealthy, right? So they can have chandeliers and Maybachs and drive, and then while your congregation pulls up and barely can get to goddamn church, but they're trying to show their dedication to JC, man, right? Really put them in a pit though, right?
That's a.
But
I was just, yeah, no. Hey, it says, and the point was their own shepherds pity them not. But I was just looking this up. Just want to put
Quaz?
this on camera. Yeah, because he's, this is, who is the Edomite God? Who is the Edomites God? And it says, Quaz, later, Quoz, Hebrew, also Quaz, Akkadian, or Kaz, Greek, was the national god of the Edomites. He was the Idumeans' spiritual parallel, and it says to Yahweh, but it's
Right,
Yahweh.
right, yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So, hey, you know, hey,
Makes sense.
the time is short. You
Yeah,
know
yeah.
what I mean? Our people, hey, yeah.
Because that's what they say. They're
If
gonna
the
say
Most High is
blessed be
impressive, right.
Quaz,
Right, right.
Because that's his version of
know?
Yahweh, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he can say, hey, blessed we are rich.
You know, and when they
Yeah.
say God and all of that, that's who they're referring to. That's their God. You know, and the elites haven't let that go. They know who their God is.
Right.
You know what I mean? And our people, you know, hey, you've let go. You've forgotten your God. You've moved away from your rock. And this is why you are in the condition that you're in. You know, but Yahweh Ratazah, you know, hey, as the elect are activated and come up out of this mindset of Babylon and prepare for the return of the king, you know what I mean, and our hopeful, you know, salvation out of this place, you know, hey, we just, you know, hey, we pray only for the hopeful elect. So, hey, we pray that you were edified and that you received some type of understanding from this message, and Lord willing, you know, hey, you are brought through the time of trouble. So with that, as always, we want to close by giving all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash.
And double honors, as always, to our apostles, our elders and bishops, leadership of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the house of David, to the 144,000, to the men, women, and children scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, of the hopeful elect of the house of Jacob, the house of Israel. To you, we say shalom.
Shalom.
And wa ababa
Ba 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 ba. Kwame Yasharala.
Come Yasharala.